Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. It's Garrett.
And more.
Well, today's video comes at a time where anytime I go on YouTube nowadays, it's pretty much flooded with captions of like, what no one tells you about Japan. Things that I wish I knew someone had told me before coming to Japan, specifically amongst the expat community. So instead today I think we're going to do a little bit of the opposite. I'd like to try to say what everyone says about Japan. And my fact checker for the day is going to be none other than...
Moi.
So basically, I just scrounged the internet for a list of like the top most popular blogs about what everyone loves about Japan, and it was pretty much the same, maybe like with a couple tweaks here and there. That being said, that's all coming from someone visiting Japan. We have our expert here. Me, myself, I've lived in Japan for about almost 3 years, so me being a foreigner coming back from Japan, I think I could remember a time previously before I lived here where I 100% agreed with all of these sentiments.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Interesting.
I had the rose petal glasses and yeah. I'm gonna try to keep my opinions out of this. Shall we begin?
No.
Before we begin, if you like this kind of content, be sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe. Now, shall we begin?
Yes.
Okay, so number one, what everyone says that they love about Japan. It's so clean.
Osaka and Tokyo, I know some parts, like Shinjuku is not the cleanest, Shibuya too, and some parts in Yokohama too.
But would you say for the most part Japan's pretty clean in comparison? You've traveled to how many countries? 10 or so? Yeah. When you come back home, do you feel like, oh, thank goodness, like, it's so clean here?
Yeah. なんだろうね, it's a different cleanness, like, I feel safe, like, cleanness and the safety goes together.
Well, that's actually another one. So since you're bringing it up here, number two, Japan has zero crime. Japan is the safest place in the world, and there's no such things as scammers or pickpocketers, is what a blogger said.
Safer than most countries. There are crimes. I know your argument that Japanese people don't report to the police especially for sexual crime. I think that's also true because a lot of the girls are scared of being exposed. Pickpocketers, small number. I've heard that like my college friend, her purse was stolen in McDonald's, or like she was there but the bag was gone or something, and we were like, what? Are you sure? Kind of like reaction. That's how rare it is. The scammers, the serious scammers, like, are targeting elders in Japan, and that's bad. That's really bad. The tourist scammers, I feel like there are not many. Probably there are, but not many compared to other like Asian countries that I've been to.
Probably about the third time I went to Japan. It was the first time I went to the Kabukicho area and ventured over there.
I've heard that too.
And first time in Japan that I had felt that feeling of like, oh, this area feels a little bit shady.
Kabukicho is famous for.
Yeah.
The area is famous for hostess, kyabakura. Bad host club. They will lock you up until they pay.
So that's kind of like a scam.
Yeah.
But this list says there's no such things as scammers in Japan. But I think that people need to be aware that like
There are.
there are, yeah.
But don't go to those places in the first place.
Yeah.
No hostess. No.
Japan has the best hospitality in the world. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Especially you. You worked in the hotel industry before. What were some things that you can say that were put into that extra step for your customers? Can you talk to, because you worked at a really nice hotel too. Yeah.
I'm not sure about the other hotels, but we have all the database for anyone who stayed in the hotel. Some people have weird quirks, like only men staff can go because this man is trying to welcome the staff at naked.
Welcome the staff at naked.
What?
Or like this husband and wife hasn't been in a relationship, so don't ask about like about marriage or like there are those notes in the database.
So, like, were you secretly spying on people in the lobby and like, oh, those two, that's the married couple. Oh, they just got in an argument.
Kind of. Or like talking, like I didn't work at a check-in clerk, so I don't know much about it. I was in the sub office, but when they are checking in, they talk about things and try to get as much information as possible.
Do you think when we go to hotels, like, are you conscious of this? You look over and you turn back and then you notice they're like,
No, that's too obvious. Like, and also like sad to say, but VIP people like is the most important.
but not lowly peasant folk like us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you think that any hotels did keep notes on us, what do you think the succinct summary would say?
Quiet husband. Maybe they're speaking English? Question mark.
Alright, so let's move on then. Everything in Japan is so high tech.
I don't really understand this one. Probably toilet, kana?
Well, that's the next one. That's actually, so we'll just combine those two then.
Yeah.
2 points together is everything is so high tech, the toilets are the best.
I think toilets are good.
Yeah.
You know, close and open, and like they have bidet,
Yeah.
heating seat. 匂い消すやつ.
It'll get like a deodorizer.
That's cool.
Yeah. So the toilets, of course, you could read, but what about everything else in Japan? Going back to the other point that you said you don't understand.
Only comparing to America. American websites are more triggers people to buy things, more things, and tracks what you want to put it in the basket, make you purchase those things. I think that's like great. Like Japanese companies should do that. Like I see American website and that's like very like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's just surprising to me because you talk about we just went into depth about the hospitality and how they're always taking notes about what people like and what people make, what can be easier for people. But then yet you go on a website, Chiba Bank or something, and then like language barrier aside, it's just so difficult to navigate.
Yeah, I agree. In general, like they're more focused on the information maybe. Yeah, also like aircon and like security cameras and other things. It's again comparing only to America. They have many apps to control from your phone nowadays, but they are just starting in Japan. Like it's not very common. Like all those things, they have digital screen, more high tech to me. Those American products. I feel like Japan is not the high-techest country.
Yeah.
So toilets are amazing.
Yeah, I can agree. Vending machines and convenience stores are the best.
Yeah, like Japan's amazing in that aspect. I guess that's what people think it's high-tech. Vending machines especially. Like they make drink hot or cold. Or ice cream or snacks and convenience store is like has everything.
Yeah.
Like if you're staying overnight in a friend's house and you need things, you can find everything. Makeup remover, your pants, your underwear, your food, your drinks, maybe your towel. Like everything. If you have my number, you can do like Juminhyo.
Print all your government documents from the convenience store. But then again, I feel like if I were in the States, I wouldn't want to print my special documents in a convenience store. Hell no. Are you kidding me? It's like, I don't even want to use a credit card because I know that someone bugged the machine.
Yeah, the image of convenience store is completely different. It's clean, it has everything. It's literally convenient.
Yeah. Japanese are ahead of the world in fashion.
For some people, if you're into those clothes, fashion style, then maybe you think that way. But generally speaking, people dress very conservative.
I think everybody in the States, when they think of Japanese, they automatically think the seifuku, like the school uniform, Or they think of like Harajuku from like the early 2000s, like the 80s and the 90s, I feel like. But generally speaking, your average Japanese person, do they dress like a Harajuku?
And also depends on the city too.
Yeah, a lot of the top designers and brands are from like coming straight out of Urahara and like that area. So I get it. Public transportation is always on time.
Generally, yes, but they're not always on time. But I guess the delay is limited. Other countries has always strike. I've been to New York one time, and the train in some parts are stopped because they are under construction or they were on strike. And in Europe too, like we were like panicking, why is it not going anywhere? Some kind of machine trouble, or like we don't have that kind of delays, but we have kinds of delays that people like jump in the rail.
Like suicides, right?
Yeah, and also like simply being too many people on the train, so just going a little slower. But generally speaking, yes.
I was gonna say mostly it's never like I'll agree with them about the trains. Like I thought the same thing until I started taking the buses, because the buses are never on time. All right, last few. The Japanese are so friendly.
No. No. For food.
I don't know. That's just what I keep seeing. The Japanese are so friendly.
I don't know what friendly means, but we definitely don't talk to each other.
One of the top stories that I saw was something about the travelers forgot like an umbrella, and some old lady chased him down to say you forgot your umbrella.
I think that instance could happen, but I don't think that as friendliness.
Or I think another one I saw, he said anytime he goes to a bar, a Japanese person will strike up a conversation with him immediately and ask him where he's from.
Friendly if they're drunk. Well, again, comparing to America, people will spark conversations randomly, like
in the States. Yeah.
And that never happens, ever, unless you're drunk. So that sense, I think Americans are a lot more. But that instance could be translated to me as hospitality or kindness. And yeah, we have kindness and hospitality to some extent. So like talking to people, if that considers as friendly, no.
Last one.
Hi.
The Japanese are very efficient.
Japanese are efficient in some ways. You know, like, think about it.
I'm keeping my opinions out of all of this.
I know every country is a mess. It's difficult time, but Japanese government is not doing well for the COVID cases and other things. Olympics. So, but you know, like we have the train system.
I think that's what it was based on, yeah.
And
that
like
comment.
Suica, and like you can just tap your card to pay. More like perfectionist. Japan is a good country, so please come.
Cool. Some of these are valid statements, while some of them you have to kind of take with a grain of salt, right? A bit of a generalization. Especially when they say what I love about Japan. We know too that each prefecture has its own way of doing things. In any case, thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did,
please like and subscribe.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, you can take a break. There was a lot of talking for you. Alrighty. We will catch you next video then.
Bye.